Go and watch my last video. It's probably the best video I've ever made. If you're having trouble with your psychology, if you're having trouble with your trading journey in general, it has a lot of principles and it will teach you a lot of what's going on in my journey, because I want to help people out with things that I'm facing right now. So please go and check that out. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't made a video like this in a while. I am focusing on many different things. Hopefully you like the different type of style of video with the cinematic video that I posted as my last video. If you haven't watched it, it should pop up here somewhere. The first thing I want to say is that trading psychology is something that I want to focus on a lot more now, and I'm helping some people in my premium Discord and all that in there control themselves and learn their patterns, learn themselves as traders and as people. So that's kind of the shift I want to make. I'm thinking about right now. I don't know how often I'll make the cinematic style videos. I think definitely I should keep it going because it's going to talk about, or it's going to help with, you know, being more transparent and helping people see my journey as I continue. And since I'm going through this transformation, I think the person who benefits the most is you if you're watching this. But apart from that, I don't want to talk too long. It has been a while since I've broken down anything, and I've had a couple people comment telling me to break down, or I have trading breakdowns and stuff like that. I break down my trades every day in my premium Discord, so if you want to be a part of that, join my Discord. The link is down in the description. We'll talk about everything once we get into that. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Let's talk about the sponsor of this video and everything else. All right, the sponsor of this video, as always, is Tektronix PCs. If you're looking for the best quality PC with the best parts in the market, check out Tektronix PCs. Their website is up. As you already know, they've been very supportive since the very beginning, so go and check them out and use my discount code LVFLIP for 10% off, right? You'll get access to all these things. They added a couple new things in here, so make sure you go ahead and check it out yourself. They also have you can pay in installments and all that stuff. Check them out. Their website has a bunch of different type of PCs depending on what it is that you're actually looking for, so take advantage of that. Let them know that I sent you. Apart from that, that's everything I have to say. Let's move on to the Discord. All right, now we're in the Discord. The link is down in the description. As always, join the free Discord and have access to this stuff down here. You can see we've been very active. Like, I'm extremely grateful for the people in here. We are very active and we're talking in here all the time. So join if you are interested and just keep the vibe going. That's basically it. If you want to join the premium Discord, just hit join premium down here and all the information is in there. If you need testimonials, it's in there as well. You'll get access to all of this stuff in the premium. I've added a bunch of new stuff and I just recorded a video today that's gonna go in the Discord because one of the people in my premium asked for it for a very specific video. But apart from that, you can see here in the trade breakdowns, I've been breaking down every trade, literally every single trade. So please go ahead and check it out if you're interested. Apart from that, that's everything I have to say about the Discord. Now let's move on to the actual video. All right, now we're talking the good stuff. This is what this past week ended up looking like. We had a Monday low, right, all the way up to a Friday high. Very simple week, very nice week in terms of trading. I'm gonna talk about the best potential setups and just breaking down everything that happened in here, the trades that I took and potential trades that you could have taken in here as well. I'm not gonna go as deep, just to be able to keep that value in the premium Discord. If you're interested, like I always said, like I just said, go check it out. But make sure you please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, share with a friend who is also on their trading journey. Let me know how your trading journey is going down in the comments. Let me know how your trading psychology is, and if you need any help with that. I think that's something that I'm gonna focus on a lot more now. But yeah, very simple. Let's just head down to the lower time frames and talk about what happened. So here on Monday, we ended up having an SMT straight into the straight into the open. We had an SMT below this low, then they pushed extremely hard up and closed above this Asia high, but on the 5 minute they left an order block. If you pay attention here, this trade I took on paper. This actually no, I took this trade. I'll put every video up in the corner of the trades that I took this week, so if I mess it up, please bear with me. I don't remember everything. I took one of these on paper and the other one was the actual trade. Whichever one I put up is the one that I actually took, so I'll just go ahead and break it down from there. But yeah, I was mostly bullish coming off of this. I saw that we had the SMT down here and also that we had a 5 minute order block. As you can see, these down close candles that came down and swept this low, create an order block. And I thought, okay, if price comes back into this order block, there is a possibility for price to continue higher. Since I am bullish overall on the higher time frame, narrative is bullish on this day. My bias was also bullish, but I did see this short show up and I took it either on paper in my real account, and then this is, I think I took the short on paper and this is on the real account. But right, as you can see, as soon as 10 o'clock open, they dumped. So it's the 10 a.m. power of 3 playing out. It's very simple, not too much. Go on the lower time frames real quick just to show you what happened. I don't want to spend too much time on any individual day, but if you pay attention here, there was a CISD after taking out this liquidity up here. here, right? So we have this sweep right there, sweep of liquidity. Then there's this CISD right here, right? So that's kind of the approach I took into taking the trade and inside a fair value gap. So I just took the entry inside the fair value gap. My stop was originally above here, and then it ran, right? I remember holding this, and I sent it all in the Discord. If you want to see the actual picture and want proof, it's all in the Discord. I literally sent all my trades in there. I'll see if I could find it really quickly for that day. Yeah, I also took another trade on Monday. I remember it was this was the actual trade I took on my account. It was the small scalp short, but then I took these on paper, right? So the other two that I just showed right now were both on paper. This is the first one that I took on paper. That's right before I closed, and then the long obviously is this right here. You can see it on paper both. So that's the approach, right? I got out down here. Actually, I just didn't know if they were going to continue lower or respect that order block. Once I saw that they respected the order block, I got out, and then I saw this. There is a 15-minute fair value gap right here, right? As you can see right there, the bodies are respecting, the wicks are doing the damage, but the bodies are telling the story. I'm thinking, okay, if they're going to respect that, then they will continue higher. I hate how this thing sends you to Narnia whenever you flip through it, but that was the basis of the entry right here. Honestly, should have entered down here because they pushed through these down close candles and these fair value gaps. They just came back down more. The entry should honestly be up here, but this was a very good entry as well. Can't complain. And then targeted just above this high. That's it for Monday, but it was the 10 a.m. power 3 playing out. Let's move on to Tuesday really quickly. Now here on Tuesday, it was very clean and very simple. I took a long. I'll put the video up in the corner again. You already know the protocol, but we had just swept buy side liquidity. I noticed that they closed way above the high. So as you can see, they closed this, and even on the 1 hour on Tuesday, where is it? If you pay attention here on the 1 hour, they definitely closed well above this high. So I was like, okay, I'm mostly bullish, right? I did see that they started to respect a PD area, I think on the 4 hour up here, which is just this order block, right? They had a lot of movement lower on Tuesday, but I got in before all that and was out before all of that, so I don't really care that they dumped, right? There was definitely some good shorts in there, but it was extremely clean. 10 o'clock opened, right? They chopped for a little bit, then they manipulate lower into a 15-minute fair value gap, and inside the fair value gap is where I got my entry, right? I was looking for another power of 3, really. Very clean. They shorted below it, right? Entry inside the 5-minute fair value gap or the 15-minute fair value gap, and then just push way higher. Very, very simple approach. I've been keeping my trades very simple, waiting for confirmation more than usual. I've come to realize that, you know, all the top and bottom ticking, that's just ego. I don't really care about all that stuff. I just want to take a good trade and make sure that I win, right? So in here, if I'm not mistaken, we ended up having an SMT right here on ES. You can go and check yourself. I don't remember too much, but it was off of the higher time frame, right? So we started to look a little bit more bullish in here. I can't really explain it to you. I don't know. I guess it's just trader intuition. I had a feeling that they were just gonna go up and take out this high. I took the trade, and this is what it came out as. I'll put up the video. Like I said before, I was thinking they were gonna continue higher, but they ended up reversing right then and there. And I don't really know. I think the best trade after that would have been, right? I think there might have been an SMT up here somewhere, and then honestly just inside of this fair value gap. That's the best that I can think for shorts, but I didn't take a short that day. That's basically everything for that Tuesday. Very clean, clear draw on liquidity. They had equal highs or relatively equal highs up there. I took an entry just coming out of a fair value gap after we had just swept this enticement, right? So if you pay attention right here, big wick, they start to move up. A lot of people ended up buying there, and I think I took a loss right before that, right? So then they came down, took me out. Then I was like, okay, now it's the start of the move. So the enticement, come back swoop one more time. I'm pretty sure there was an SMT there, and then they start to push higher. Very clean here on Tuesday. Now let's move on to Wednesday. Wednesday was wild, and Wednesday there was really no good setups, if we're being honest. If you think you saw a good setup on Wednesday, I don't know, maybe there's a skill gap and you're just better, but I don't think there was anything viable here on Wednesday, unless you just took it off the fact that we hit this wick, halfway point of that wick, and you have your standard deviations there. That I guess could be a reason why. But if you waited for like market open, there was really nothing going on Wednesday. It was just a bunch of chop. Obviously they chopped upward, which if you bought at the right time, it was good, but yeah, there was really nothing. They never really went below the 10 o'clock open. Down here there was a I think it was a 2-minute rejection block entry, but it was like, it depends on how you trade, but you gotta use that. If I'm being honest, I was gonna take a 1-minute entry on Wednesday, but it never came back down to where I wanted to enter, so I didn't take it. I think I ended up losing in both my trades on Wednesday just because it was just extremely choppy. It was extremely choppy. I think I took a short Wednesday in here, right? Then came back up, took me out, and then I took a long, I forget where exactly, but it took me out, then did this, and then went up from there. Either way, as you can see right here, right? So I noticed they hit a rejection block. I think it was a 2-minute or a 3-minute rejection block, right? So they end up respecting. I don't want to give you the wrong rejection block. Could have been this one. I guess it was that one. I noticed that though. They just tapped into it and then just took off. Once that structure was, or once that happened, if you trade with entry triggers, that would have been the best entry for you. For me, I wanted to see the CISD and I got it right here, right? I should have entered, but I was waiting to see if they came back into this fair value gap. They kept playing around and never did. But now that I see this opening price right here, some type of price is there, unless that's the price where they close. Okay, though it was the weekly open and the monthly open, so I should have just took it. Honestly, I was waiting for them to come back into this fair value gap. If they would have, I would have longed them and got my W that day. But it's all right. I was like, okay, it's too close to 10 o'clock. Let me just wait for 10 o'clock. Maybe they'll drop after 10 o'clock into it, then go up, and they never did. They just chopped and continued chopping. It was just a bad day. But if you got your entries in here, congratulations. I don't know what to say. This is horrible price action on that day. It's better to just follow your rules and do not care. I guess that's the best way to put it. Follow your rules and get off of the market. Your rules will protect your capital, because those are the type of days that people really blow their accounts. And as you can see, they went up, but not in a good way. Then we have here Thursday, very clean Thursday. I'll put up the video as always, but I think here on Thursday and Friday I decided to trade both demos, because Thursday I was reading price very well. I will say patience is probably the biggest skill in trading, and waiting till the setup shows up, right? So early in the AM, unless you caught the reversal up here, right? And I talked about that in my premium Discord. I broke it down in one of the weekly and one of the daily trade breakdowns, why the short up here was valid. And right, you can see I left some of the stuff in here. We have a CASD inside of a fair value gap at 930. But if you didn't get in up there, then what you should have done was just wait, really, right? Unless you wanted to be bearish down to this low and obviously take this here. But I guess most people probably got stopped out in here with this move, and then they came back up. Either way, all this chop, nothing. The setup actually showed up here at 1030. So all this chop, right? 10 o'clock opens, they drop below 10 o'clock, right? Swoop these lows, then starts to push above this fair value gap, pushing through bearish PD arrays, and then close above this high. As you can see, then they come back into it, and that's why I took a long, right? I was targeting this 15-minute order block because it looked bearish for the day. So my bias on this day was bearish, but the narrative is still obviously bullish. But if you pay attention, we had swept all this liquidity, then dumped and closed below this order block. So I was just targeting that. That picture is also in the Discord if you want to go look at it. I sent it in there. But then I took this trade, which is the trade that went up, right? I was mostly bearish. I just wanted to wait. There was an SMT up here, right? I was explaining this stuff, but it doesn't really matter. SMT inside of the order block, then they CISD. Could have took an entry right there once they closed this, but I waited a little longer. They closed this long leg, closing a 3-minute fair value gap, then they come back into it. I take the entry there, stop above this high, then I move it lower and target this low. Simple, very, very simple. Extremely clean, very simple. That's how I've been trading recently. All right, but that's it for Thursday. Now let's talk about Friday. Friday was a clean as day, like extremely clean. I loved Friday's price action. I traded on demo as well, but it was very clean. As you can see, it was a very clear cut, clean accumulation, manipulation, distribution, very clean, right? And you have this standard deviation leading down to here. So I noticed that right before market open. I was like, okay, that's a valid low. They just swept liquidity, rejected it. They tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap, rejecting off of that. So valid low of day at that point. Then at 9:30, we're already building bullish structure. Let's hop to the 1 minute really quickly. And you can see, right, respecting bullish PD arrays. Now we're pushing above highs, right? Projecting lows, pushing above highs. And at 9:30, they have this big move up, and I was very, very enticed in, or not enticed. I've been trying to control my impulses a lot more, because I've noticed that most of my first trades are just impulses, then the real trade comes after. So what I've been doing is like, okay, I had an impulse to jump in here, would have been tight with this move lower, but I said, what is down there, right? We have 2 5-minute fair value gaps here. You see here, 1 and then 2. They dumped, doing damage with the wick, taking anybody out who thought they were gonna go up inside of this fair value gap, right? But look at the bodies. The bodies respect the fair value gap and push higher towards the draw on liquidity that was very clean and very clear to me from the beginning of the week, which was this high. And that was it. It was a very clean trade. If you pay attention to it on the 5 minute, it was just a entry off of the how do I put it, an entry off of the 5 minute fair value gap on the 1 minute. They pushed higher, and then up here I broke this down in my Discord as well in one of the trade breakdowns. I just did it for fun for my premium Discord, but that's about it. That's about everything, right? I took a small loss because I entered too quickly and they took me out, but then I entered again, and that was the trade for that day. That's basically it for Friday. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I know this was a pretty quick video. I haven't made a video like this in a while, but I had some people asking me to do it, so I was like, let me just give it to them. I don't know how often I'm gonna throw in the cinematic videos. I want to do them as often as my schedule allows, but also as often as my transformation happens, because every day, every week, I'm figuring out a lot more about myself psychologically, so I want to kind of tell a story with it to be able to help you. So go show some support on that. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. One thing I do want to say that is very important to me is that I've been following my rules consistently for 3 weeks now. No negotiation, no, oh, I should just jump in. No, after my two trades, I'm done for the day. I've changed my whole identity when it comes to trading, and I know now that God can bless me with everything that he has in store for me because I can handle it, and I've been proving that with my actions, not my words. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, check out Tektronix, use my discount code LVFLIP for 10% off. Join the Discord, it's free down in the description if you want to join the premium. Everything is inside the Discord, so use it. Apart from that, I'm not teaching anybody right now, and yeah, hopefully you had a very good Thanksgiving, and if you're watching this before Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, you know, Happy New Year, I guess. But I'll probably have a video before then anyways. But apart from that, be safe on these December markets. You already know how it gets at the end of the year, but yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have to say. Peace.